Hey everyone, welcome out to episode 143 of a Nerd Named Mark podcast. Technically, 142 was my Last of Us special, so that's why that went up because I wanted to talk about the show and the game because the show just ended last week. So this episode, we're going back into some stuff. I bought stuff, so I'm gonna talk a lot about toy hunting, figure collecting and stuff like that. It's something I wanted to revisit because the let's face it, figure hunting and toy hunting is always an evolving hobby. When you complete waves or even collections fully, it's like, what do you do next? Also, I want to go over some manga because Barnes and Noble last week was doing buy one get one half off all manga, excluding box sets. So I have a lot of manga to talk about. So yeah. Also, uh, merch is about to launch. The next episode I will be able to show off the merch in the video. Obviously, I'm going to do a special video announcing everything on the YouTube channel and on social media. Um, but I want to do like a whole deep dive episode going into the process and everything that went into the last. This has been going on for a while. Like I was going to do this like years ago, and then I kind of put everything on the back burner because of the pandemic and work and everything else. But now like it's finally happening, working with great artists and collaborating on this, so it's something I'm definitely excited to do an episode on next week, so you're not going to want to miss that. Feeling better. The pain in my ear is gone. Now it's just waiting for it to like heal more and my hearing to come back to 100%. I appreciate everyone who reached out and was like, hey, hope you're doing well, this and that, because having a ruptured eardrum is not fun. I do not recommend it. No, 1 out of 10, I do not recommend. So, I'm going to start off by going over merch that I bought. Because I want to get that out of the way. Then, actually, you know what? No, I'm going to go into what I've been watching, what I've been, you know, playing for games, because that's a thing. So, watching wise, not much. I'm still watching my Toku, my Kamen Rider Geats. The new Super Sentai, Royal Sentai King Oger, has been really good. At the time of recording, the third episode just dropped, and let me say, like this show, like I'm not a big Super Sentai guy. Love it so much. Um, Hopefully soon I'll be able to talk more about Power Ranger stuff, like Power Ranger Once and Always and stuff like that, because that's coming out next month. We still haven't gotten a trailer yet, so I don't really have. I don't do rumors and speculation, so I'm just waiting for some defined stuff to be released, and then I can talk about more of that because I'm actually really excited. Um, Other than watching that, um, you know, just not really much. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos. Uh, nothing from really a TV show. I started like rewatching a lot of stuff because I go through that where like there's nothing really going on. So like I'm rewatching Scrubs right now. Probably gonna rewatch Psych at some point too because I love those two shows. Those are two of my favorite shows. And I do want to rewatch Smallville because I got the Blu-rays for that finally. So that's not really much I'm watching. And there goes an ambulance. Always loud, always loud. But yeah, not really watching a lot of stuff. Just no time. Like, I'm working so much and, reading a lot of manga, which I'm going to go over. Video games, me and the wife have still been playing Hogwarts Legacy. I beat it. She hasn't yet. W2K23 just dropped, so I had to cop that on the PS5. I've been playing Fire Emblem a little bit. I'm chipping away at it. I just, time, and then also this Japanese battle royale that also got a US release called Knives Out. In Japan, they're doing a Kamen Rider crossover event. So I've been playing that, and I'm actually working on a video for it because it's actually a lot of fun. And it's Kamen Rider related for the crossover. So I was like, I might as well play it. I might as well record some videos for it. That being said, that's really it for stuff I'm watching and playing. Not a lot. Been really busy, and then with the pain in my ear, it was giving me like headaches and making me dizzy. So I've spent a lot of time just resting, reading, listening to podcasts and audiobooks, like not really overexerting myself too much outside of work. Because it was pretty bad there with the pain for a while, where it's to the point where it's like I wasn't sleeping and I was exhausted all the time. Like You can't tell with the glasses, but I like for a while there I had dark circles under my eyes just from not sleeping. I think I almost went 2 days without sleep at one point because of the pain. Anyone who knows, I don't put um a lot of I don't do painkillers. I don't do any of that stuff. So I just deal with pain. And yeah. All right, let's talk about toys. I mentioned one before. Um, my Gordon Shumway with the saxophone from Alf, because I love Alf so much. But I finally got the second one with the mallet, fish, and bucket from NECA. As you know, I love my NECA toys. I have the whole Toonie Terror line complete with chases, and I was like, "What's next? What's next that I can get?" And it was Alf. Um, then at Target, so I don't understand Target clearance stuff, and this is me possibly being a hypocrite because I did a whole video going over the Lightning collection and my issues with it and how I wasn't going to collect it anymore. But when these were clearance down from $30+ to 10, I couldn't say no. I got the blue Centurion from Turbo, 10 freaking dollars. I was like, what? I was like, okay. And then from In Space, I got the Silver Ranger with his little motorcycle. And I was like, $10? Like, really? Why? Why are these 10? These are supposed to be $33.99. And uh In Space, I've talked about it before. Power from Mighty Morphin up to In Space. I finished In Space and I kind of tried Lost Galaxy, but I stopped. And from a continuity standpoint, everything from Mighty Morphin to In Space, Chef's Kiss. So these are pretty cool to have in the collection. I don't know, honestly, if this means I'm going to get back into the Lightning collection because I want to stick to my guns on this. Um, I'm still a firm believer that quality control is an issue, and I don't want to give money to a company that's not going to put the care into the quality control. And it sucks because there's a lot of good Power Ranger stuff coming out soon. Like they're doing the deluxe, like the 30th anniversary ones for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers that come with like effects part, this that. They look great. I've had the morphers, some of the weapon, and it's just like one of those things where it's like, I wish the quality control of the figures were better. I want to support Hasbro. I want to support the Lightning Collection. I want to support the brand of Power Rangers, and Hasbro makes it so difficult. So I'm just hoping, maybe with some QC improvements, I would return to getting the Lightning Collection stuff. Not that I have space for anything else, anyways, but it's a nice gesture. So I watch a lot of haul videos. I watch a lot of people who do figure hunting. One of my favorites is Ethan Page from AEW. He has a YouTube channel and he does videos every Sunday. And I sit there when he does the premiere and chat and talk all the time. Like the videos are so cool because he's also a big Power Ranger fan. So I was like, obviously, like that's what drew me to those videos. And um, so that's just one person, but like I watch a lot of other YouTubers and this and that, and a lot of people keep saying, and like even on Twitter, people are like, you should check out Ross, the store chain, because apparently they sometimes have really good stores. And my wife was like, yeah, no, they have some good stuff sometimes. I was like, because she does collecting too. So I mean, one day we'll have to do a wife reveal and have her on the podcast to talk about her collection and her obsession. Because if you think I'm a collector, no. No, no, no. I'm niche with what I collect. Comics, manga, toku stuff. No. Like it puts my collecting to shame. But so I went to Ross and I was like, okay. And right at the bat, first thing I saw was this Coronation Starscream from the Transformers movie. Now what you're thinking, that's nice. So this thing is usually like, 50 bucks or so at like Target and Walmart and stuff like that. I got this for $20 at Ross. $20. I was like, and I've been wanting this. Like, I don't have a lot of Transformers stuff, and it's mainly because one of space, and two, I just they keep re-releasing so many things, but like the Transformers movie line, I would gladly get all those, like Grimlock and everything else. I did get a lot of the Beast Wars ones that they re-released. So I saw this and I was like, I couldn't say no because I've been wanting it, but I didn't want to spend that much on it. I feel like even though like quality is there, but 50 is still a lot, you know. Um, so I picked up that. Then I found I have the original one, but these are the re-release, the retro morphing Power Rangers. I got the White Ranger Tommy one. Dude, this thing was $3. I was like, $3? Are you kidding me? Like this is that's a good freaking price. Now, if I could find the Ranger Slayer one and Trini and Green Ranger Tommy, it's a wrap. Like, because I like those ones. Um, then I like my Converse and Adverge stuff, and I always thought these were overpriced. So they have these little Dragon Ball Super um little Adverge. These are usually like I saw this at Target for 18, and they had these for 4.99 each at freaking Ross's. So I got all of them. So you got the ones with Super Saiyan Blue Vegito, Zamasu, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Ultra Instinct Goku, Piccolo, Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Vegeta, and then Super Saiyan Brawly from the movie. And I was just like, bro, 4.99 each. That's a steal. I will gladly pick those up. That is easy purchase, no thought process needed. And so now, before I get into um the manga and everything else I picked up or what I'm reading from it, I want to talk about collecting because there's as anyone who's been following the podcast over the over 3 years now, yeah, almost 4 years. It'll be 4 years this July that I've been doing the podcast like fully, not starting the fourth year, but the end. Like we're currently on the fourth year because it was 2019, 2020, 2021, 2020. Yeah, so yeah, 4 years. And if you followed the podcast, not just the videos, because it wasn't always a video podcast, there was audio the whole time. My collecting habits or how I collect have kind of evolved. I tell everyone, and I had this talk with a friend of mine because he wants to do like toy reviews and this and that, but he's just like, I'd have to review older stuff because I don't really buy everything when they're new. And he saw some toys like, hey, what are these? Like, are these gonna be good to collect or resell? And I'm just like, if you're gonna be a content creator and you're gonna, be either figure hunting or this and that, don't go broke doing it. Like there are times where I strictly don't buy anything. There are times, little inside baseball here. There are times where I'll buy stuff and I'll save it and use it in another video later on and not talk about it in an episode because and spread out my purchase. I'll do like one big day of purchases and be like, all right, I'll say a couple here with this, and then save a couple more for another video. Same with comics, because you don't want to go broke, doing this. I I very fortunate enough to be fully employed and make good money, and I keep track of my money, and I don't overspend. Reselling I don't really do unless I buy lots of stuff on like eBay or Mercari and I get duplicates of something I already have, then I'll sell those. But you know, I'm always trying to figure out what I want to collect next. Which is what was tough with the Lightning collection because when I gave that up and I sold 90% over 95% of my collection, I was like, what's next? What do I collect now? Like, what do I do? Because I'm not gonna buy these just to have them if it's something that like I don't believe I should be spending money on because of the quality issues. Like with NECA, once I had all the movie reel Godzilla ones. I'm like, well, what do I do now? I love NECA's quality. Do I go? I love horror, but I got the Toonie Terrors now, but do I go into the movie quality ones just to have them? Because it's like they look great. Don't get me wrong, but it's one of those things where it's like I don't want them in the collect. That's not something I would want to collect. And I'm not going to buy them just to have them. Sorry, coffee. In my Killer Clowns from Outer Space mug, greatest movie of all time. Um, so it's tough being a collector and finding out like there's always slippery slopes. Like me getting this Coronation Starstream, this may awaken something inside of me where I'm like, all right, you know what other Transformers do I like? Like I want the Grimlock one. I definitely do. I love the Dinobots. And with things like like Gundam model kits, like I was doing the SDW heroes, and I still have a backlog, and I'm chipping away at it, but I'm not buying anymore to add to them. One, I don't have space. I still have like some master grades, and I have a couple like perfect grades that I haven't even made. Um, because I'm waiting for space and time, and honestly, like I use like things like the SDW heroes and the high grades to like get better at panel lining and building the gun plots, because like those are the other ones are expensive. I don't want to like fuck them up. Honestly, I really don't. Um, or things like, well, you can't see I have my Batman the animated series 30th anniversary display over here. I still do the Soto. Like there, like I already collect enough stuff, and yeah, I don't do a lot of videos on collecting stuff because that's not really like my specialty, and my forte. But it's also a thing. It's like that's slippery slope. Like, what if like a video hits and it's like, all right, I need the next one, then the next one, the next thing you know, I'm spending more than I should just to make content. This is still a hobby to me. Um, this is still something. Well, it's always something I'm be passionate about, but it's just I'm not going to, you know, try and go after what's trendy with figure hunt, especially figure hunting. Like, there's like because my wife even watches like a lot of stuff on like doll Twitter or whatever, doll tube or whatever, book talk and stuff like that, because she loves books, she reads, she collects books. I collect books as well, not just manga, like real actual like novels and stuff and novellas. And the videos I watch, and I see videos she's watching on the big TV, and it's one of those things where it's like, man, these people are spending a lot of money, and it's almost, it's really easy to get sucked into that and like get into the hype train of it. And I see what's trending with some, like, especially Toku right now. When new Toku stuff's coming out, everyone's gonna buy it, and I'm sitting here like, gonna wait, because one, I have a connect in Japan, so I'm not gonna pay all this markup on them, and two, it's one of those things where it's like, I'm just gonna wait. It's not the end of the world if I don't get it day one. Which is also why I stopped reviewing a lot of stuff too, because I'd rather get stuff at my own pace than to feel like I'm gonna miss out on doing a video on it. So it's like, now if I get something 2 months after everyone else, but I save money on it, that's fine with me. I'm not gonna lose sleep. I'm saving money. I'm saving money. But there's an evolution of it, because like before I was really like, I was hunting. I was literally hunting for toys, especially with the Nakatuni Teros. You've seen the videos, this and that. Once I got like the first like two waves done, I was like, when I was like following, I was like, when's the next wave? Oh, it's released now. Let me go to this target. Oh, they only had this one. Where's the next one? And I would go to like three or four targets over a span of like a day or two, just to try and find them. Or I would be on Amazon being like, all right, where are they? And then realizing they're more expensive on Amazon. And I was like, no, thank you. But yeah, the toy figure hunting for me, like I've evolved over it. Now I'm like more casual about it, I guess you could say. I'm hunting for deals now. And I don't know what's next for the collection. What's the next set I'm really going to be going for? Because I'm done with like SH figure arts, because they're expensive. Honestly, they're really expensive. Like I said, I'll get my Sotos, I'll get my Udos and my mini Plas. Manga obviously is a thing, but I'm like, I'm not going to. I'm just trying to figure out what's next for my collection. Oh, but it's always gotta be something I want. Like the Elf toys, there's two of them, and that's it. So I got both of them. I'm like, cool. And I got the was it from Fat Mojo? I got the first wave of the Yu-Gi-Oh figures. There was only three of them. It was Yami Yugi, Joey Wheeler, and Seto Kaiba, and that's it. And I was like, okay, well, I'll wait for wave two. I can't wait, because like, those are cool. Um, those took me like a month to get all three, but I wasn't like losing my mind to get them. So I just am trying to figure out what's next for me as a collector. Like my comic books, I drastically gutted my pull list. I'm basically just getting Power Ranger stuff, anything from the Massive Verse, and a few other ones, and that's it. Like I'm not really getting a lot of comics, and it's not because I don't want to collect comics. It's just I'm only getting what I'm gonna read, and there's stuff that I don't want to pull because I'm waiting until like the trades come out, and then I'll get a trade paperback for it. Trade waiting is not a bad thing. Um, but yeah, that's really it. I mean, it's the same thing with like Pokemon cards. Like I still play the Pokemon TCG online. Buying physical cards, not so much, just because. I mean, I don't. I love Pokemon cards. I will always want to collect them, but it's one of those things where it's like I want to play the game itself. I want to play the actual card game. I don't care about like box breaking and stuff like that. I just want to play the game. And it was just convenient that I can get packs in the game by buying packs in real life. And now we have the Dragon Ball Super card game that's finally getting an actual digital version of the game. I'm really hopeful that we're going to get that with the Digimon card game at some point because I love the Digimon card game. Out of the three, that's my favorite one. So I'm really hoping that's a thing at some point. But yeah, that's it for collecting. I'm just trying to figure out what's next for collecting. And if there is nothing next, and I just keep doing the Sotos only and this and that, I'm fine with that too. You know, it's saving more money. It's just I don't know, like the Dungeons and Dragons like figures that have been coming out look so good for the movie, and then they did the vintage version of the cartoon show toys, but the price point is freaking ridiculous. Okay, and I cannot justify those price point on those. Like I really can't. Like it's ridiculous, and I was so mad because like I was like, I remember that show. I want those toys. 'Cause I don't remember there being toys when I was a kid for it. Same with like the He-Man Master of the Universe when they're bringing all those toys like Skelegod and which was newer from the Revelations, but they had all the retro ones too. And I was like, I had those when I was a kid. There's a Castle Grayskull. I was like, nope, don't do it. Don't do it, Mark, because that's a lot of money. And yeah, so it's tough sometimes deciding like what to buy and what not to buy. And it always feel like I have a conflict, like a duality, because there's like the Mark that's just like buy everything. Who cares? Put it on display. Go to IKEA, get another bookshelf. And then there's that other Mark that's just like, listen, rationally speaking, you can wait until someone buys them and they have buyer's remorse and they sell them cheaper, or they go on clearance, or you can just not buy them. It's not. Is it going to be the end of the world if you don't have these in your collection? And most of the time, the answer is no. It's not the end of the world, and then I don't buy them. So there's that. So that's just my quick spiel on collecting. And I make more coffee. Manga. So I mentioned Barnes and Noble, ridiculous deal. Buy one get one half off all manga except for collections. And I bought the manga. I bought more too, but it's already on the shelf and I don't feel like grabbing it. But it was before the deal, so uh shit. Let's see. Let's start off with I got Spy Family number 9. I think I put that last, but that was one of the ones that wasn't a part of the deal. I don't think. I did go back through because of Promise Neverland. I've been reading that and enjoying it. So I got 4, 5, and 6. I'll Promise Neverland. Um, so there's one manga I've been wanting to read, and I didn't know it was only 3 volumes for the whole thing. It's called Crazy Food Truck. So I got volumes 1, 2, and 3. So this is the whole run, and I was like, oh, that's convenient, and I like that. Then I finally got caught up, so I got volumes 10 and the newest volume 11 of Call of the Night. A little, vampire manga never hurt anybody. I'm still on my kick for Jujutsu Kaisen, so I picked up volume 7 and 8. I wish I got into that sooner because like it's good. And it's tough for me when it comes to like anime and manga. When stuff is like overhyped, it kind of diminishes my interest in it. Not because of the mainstream of it, but it's like everyone's saying it's that good. Everyone, all right. Let's like, are you sure? The another one I got is called Dinosaur Sanctuary. I like this one. I actually started reading it. I got my little bookmark. Um, I like dinosaurs, so Jurassic Park, anything like that. I mean, I've gone on tangents on the podcast talking about my love of dinosaurs and how I wanted to be a paleontologist, and how I actually have a whole section in my book collection of paleontology books because I want to be a paleontologist when I was a kid. Um, yeah, but it's really good. And then I got this one. This was actually on my list that I wanted to find and hunt down. And I finally found it from Yen Press. It's called Pandora 7. Um, you know, it's a thing. I haven't read it yet, but it was on my list. And then because Volume 3 came out, Adam, the beginning. I know Titan Manga and Stonebot Manga, they had some issues with the Common Rider, the first two volumes of that. I will say um, they've been doing a really, really, really good job with Adam the Beginning. And I will say that I'm excited for Volume 3. I almost bought one of the omnibuses for Astro Boy, but it wasn't the first one. So I was like, well, I need the first one because Adam the Beginning is before Astro Boy. And yeah, it's really good. You should check it out, regardless of your opinions of Adam of Stonebot and Titan Manga. Um, they, I did a whole video on it. I did a follow up. They, I'm, given the benefit of the doubt. They've also like this is a really good run, and I'm not going to give up on them as a company. Next up, I got Volume 5 and the newest Volume 6 released for Kubo. Won't Let Me Be Invisible. I love wholesome little rom com. I love wholesome rom com manga so much. And then after reading volume 1, I was like, you know what? I'm on board with this. The Detective is Already Dead, volume 2. Uh yeah, that's basically it. All the other manga I got was stuff like I got the first three 3-in-1s for like Yu-Gi-Oh. I got some other ones from Book Off. So I got like the Summertime Wars Part 1, this and that. I got all these. I think I talked about them on last week's episode. I'm not 100% sure. It's been a very long week with being in pain in my ear, but I'm glad I'm not in pain. But yeah, my manga collection is getting ridiculous. And the thing is, I read a lot of it too. So like I don't have this much manga that I'm like 50% read. No, I'm at like close to 80-90% read. Um and that's not including all the digital manga I get too. I will be pretty soon outside of I'm probably gonna stop starting new runs and maybe just stick to what I have and just continuing the ongoings that I already started and just new ones maybe just going digital only just to save space. Um, but yeah, that's it for manga. Um, I don't know. There's not really much else going on, honestly. I am trying to just like I want to have guests on this, but like the last 10 days or so have been really rough with the ear and the pain. So it's like setting stuff up and like getting guests. It's like been on the back burner. But I was like, I wanted to go over like collecting and manga this week. I will hopefully uh be fully healed up pretty soon. Like where I can get all my hearing back, so I can interview like have a guest on and not be like, what would you say? Like because talking like this, it's fine. I don't need to hear what I'm saying. I know what I'm saying. Yeah. And WrestleMania's upon us, so I got a WrestleMania special coming up soon. I'm trying to get some guests on for that to do some WrestleMania predictions and or do it afterwards and do a review. I may try and do like a watch along live stream because that would be a lot of fun and something I've been wanting to do for a really long time for pay-per-views and I haven't. Or I'm sorry, premium live events. So that's something to look forward to. Um, The Last of Us review episode. Let's see, actually. Hold on. I think I'm going to do that after this episode because my ear's kind of bothering me. So yeah, this isn't going to be episode 143. I'll make this episode 142 and then 143 will be the Last of Us review. Because I want to like really get everything organized for that and not do it so off the cuff because I have a lot of thoughts and opinions on that show. And I'll just put that up as a special episode after this one. But that's really it for the episode. I have nothing really else going on. If you haven't already and you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. Dude, a whole bunch of you started subscribing. I don't know what I did. I don't know if it's because of the King Osier. I know it's not because of the manga videos. And that's another thing. It's like, I know a lot of my videos on here have been Toku and the podcast and toy stuff. And the manga stuff is still relatively new on the channel. It's just one of the things like I want to cover manga more. I love manga so much. It's a big part of like my free time and my hobbies, and I love reading it. So I am going to keep doing manga videos. I didn't want to start another channel because I just don't want to start another channel. Like, I want everything on one channel. Like I said, that's the plan. And then doing everything with the merch that's about to come out. I'm really excited to show off some of that when the samples get here. So be sure to look at my social media accounts, a nerd named Mark on Twitter, Instagram. I have a Twitch account. I don't really stream on Twitch. I noticed I started getting some followers on Twitch just because like my name's there. If I do any streaming, it's usually here on YouTube. Um, I unless I'm doing like a co-op stream and like then I'll be on Twitch. But other than that, I usually just stream right on YouTube. Not that many. I'm gonna be picking that up soon and streaming more on YouTube in the next coming months when I get everything a little more settled in with everything else I'm working on. And yeah, that's it for the episode. I thank you guys for listening. I thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, you can find a Nerd Name Our podcast on all streaming platforms. If you are listening on Spotify or you're not listening on Spotify, if you could do me a favor, because I host my podcast through Anchor, which is now podcast for Spotify. I get better analytic depth and breakdowns if you are following on Spotify and listening via Spotify. Now, you don't have to if you don't have Spotify downloaded on your phone or anything, and you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Google. But if you already have Spotify, why don't you go over there and throw the podcast a follow? Listen to it over there. It's just because I get a better breakdown of the demographic and the numbers and where people are listening, where people are not like stopping listening. So it kind of helps me gauge what isn't holding the interest of everyone, and then I can like always improve the podcast. Like, even though I've been doing this for almost 4 full years, for this show, anyways, I mean, I've been doing podcasting since like, what, almost a decade now. There's always room. No podcast is perfect. My podcast is far from perfect. I'm always trying to improve things. I will go back to my other video style that I did when I came back after the break. It's just for right now, while I'm moving stuff around and organizing, this is a lot easier for me. But this has been episode 142, not 143, 142 of a Nerd Named Mark podcast. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. My name is Mark, and I'm a nerd.